Today we're making Hong Kong style Mexican buns. Yes, you heard that right, Hong Kong style Mexican buns. Do not confuse these buns with the ever popular concha buns being sold in Mexico or the pineapple buns that you see at Chinese bakeries. The Mexican bun has its own unique qualities. A soft and airy milk bread topped with a delicious, sweet, irresistible, mouth-watering topping. Based on my half-assed research, the bun was invented in the 20th century by Chinese Mexican migrants that came over to Hong Kong from Mexico. But this ain't a video about history, and I don't want to put you guys to sleep, so let's get baking. To get started, we're going to make a water roux known as a Tangzhong by adding in our bread flour along with some water onto a small saucepan and cook it over low heat while constantly stirring it to prevent it from clumping up and burning. After our Tangzhong has turned into a thick paste, remove it from the stove and transfer it to a small bowl or dish. Cover it with plastic wrap and store it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes to let it cool down. After our Tangzhong has cooled down, we're going to make our dough. In a large mixing bowl, add in your bread flour, white granulated sugar, table salt, instant yeast, milk powder, 1 egg, and the Tangzhong. Pop the mixing bowl into a stand mixer and give it a quick few whisks. Then, add in your room temperature milk and mix everything together for 3 to 4 minutes. Then add in your room temperature butter and continue kneading the dough for an additional 11 to 12 minutes. Next, transfer the dough over to a greased large bowl. Then, shape the dough into a round ball. Oh yeah, did I mention that you should add a little bit of oil to your hands before trying to shape the dough into a round ball? Now place the dough back into the bowl and cover it with plastic wrap or a towel and let it proof in a warm place until double in size, approximately 1 hour. Now while our dough is proofing, let's prepare our Mexican topping. In another large bowl, add in your room temperature butter, white granulated sugar, and table salt. Mix everything well together. Then add in your egg. Whisk everything well together. Then sift in your cake flour. Mix everything together until you no longer see any white flour bits anymore, but do not overmix it. Once done, transfer this into a piping bag with a medium-sized round piping tip like this and set it aside. Once our dough has finished proofing, degas the dough. Then, transfer it to your countertop. Shape it into a ball and weigh out the dough. Next, divide the dough into 6 pieces and weigh out each piece. Then, shape each piece into a round ball. Then, place all the pieces onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Cover the dough and let it rest for about 40 to 45 minutes in a warm place. Once the dough is finished proofing, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now take your Mexican topping that you prepared earlier and pipe the topping onto the top of the buns. Start piping in the middle of the bun, then start going around the bun in a circular motion like this, making sure not to leave any gaps between if possible. If you have any gaps when piping, then this might happen. We're going to aim for around 4 to 5 spirals around the bun so that when we bake the buns, the topping will melt all the way down to the bottom of the buns. But don't get greedy now and go overboard with the piping. Once done, bake the buns in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 16 minutes. There you have it, folks. Freshly baked Hong Kong style Mexican buns right at your doorsteps. A soft and airy milk bread topped with a sugary, buttery, smooth topping. And while you're at it, why don't you also check out my pineapple bun recipe right here?